This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Alas Pilipinas edged out by Iran. Win streak snapped in thrilling 5-set battle. Golden Boy, Carlos Yulo and Team Philippines gear up for the world stage in Japan. She just keeps on slaying. Erika Bomogao 65-second knockout stuns crowd at One Friday Fights 111. Court Queens rise. Who went where in the 2025 PBL Rookie Draft? Trump steals spotlight at UFC 316. Puts Musk feud on ice for Fight Night. French Open fallout. Sabalenka under fire for shocking comments after loss to Coco Gauff. In Major League Baseball, Kirby deals career-best 14 strikeouts. Mariners edge Angels 3-2. While the Thunder strike back to dominate the Pacers to even the NBA Finals. And joining us in the studio, five-time UAAP champion of the Ateneo Blue Eagles and MPBL standout, Tonino Gonzaga, to break down Game 2 of the NBA Finals. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 9th of June. But before our roundup, we have a report from Dexter Ganibe of Abante Radyo on Senator Escudero taking oath as presiding officer of the impeachment court. Dexter, kamusta ang mga pangyayari dyan?
Yes, Anton, hindi na natuloy na pagbutuhan ng mga senador ang motion ni Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel para sa kagyat na pagko-convene ng Senado bilang impeachment court ngayong gabi. Matapos ang higit isang oras na caucus ng mga senador kanina, naghain ng bagong motion si Senator Joel Bilyonaryo para i-refer sa Senate Committee on Rules ang impeachment case ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Agad na aprobahan sa plenaryo ang motion. Kaya nagsagawa ng panibagong motion si Bilyonaryo para manumpa si Senate President bilang presiding officer ng bubuuin pang impeachment court o magkukonvene pa lang na impeachment court. Pero si Senador Bato de la Rosa gustong malinawan base sa kanilang pag-uusap daw habang nakasuspend ang sesyon na ang panunumpa bukas ng mga senador ay hindi ba hudyat ng automatic na pagko-convene ng impeachment court. Bagay na naging dahilan ng muling pagdedebate ng mga senador kung ang panunumpa ba ng mga senator bilang senator judges ay mangangahulugang convened na ang impeachment court bukas. Kaya muling nagsuspend ang sesyon ng halos isang oras o nasa isang oras para plansyahin yung hindi nila pagkakaunawaan. Around 9 p.m., kani-kanina lang, ay tuluyan ng naaprubahan yung motion ni Villanueva at nakapanumpa na si Senate President Cheese Escudero bilang presiding officer ng impeachment court na hindi pa nga nako-convene. Ang Senate Secretary ang nangasiwa ng panunumpa ni Escudero. Muli namang nagmosyon itong si Villanueva para itakda bukas, araw ng Martes, around 4 p.m., yung oath-taking ng mga senator bilang senator judges. So, sa kabila ng mga nangyari ngayong araw sa mga motion at sa mga debate, nananatili sa June 11 ang pagko-convene ng Senate Impeachment Court. Anton?
Maraming salamat, Dexter. That was Dexter Ganibe of Abante Radyo reporting from the Senate. Now, it's time for our sports roundup. And just like that, the win streak comes to a halt. Alas Pilipinas guts it out in a 5-set thriller, but Iran proves too strong in the end. What a match in Hanoi, folks. What a match. Alas Pilipinas suffered a heartbreaker, absorbing its first defeat in the 2025 ABC Women's Volleyball Nations Cup, dropping a gripping 5-setter against a tough and resilient Iran side. 25-16, 21-25, 26-24, 23-25, 13-15 inside a packed arena in Hanoi, Vietnam. Coming off big wins against Mongolia and Indonesia, the Pinay Spikers look poised to keep the momentum going and in high spirits. But Iran had other plans. Alas was 2 points away from sealing the match in the 5th set thanks to clutch plays from Shaina Nitura, Del Palomata, and a booming ace from Vanny Gandler, taking a 13-11 lead. But Iran refused to back down as Zara Salehi and Khalili Chermahini came up with critical hits to even the score 13-all. An attack error by Angel Canino handed match point to Iran, followed by a centerline fault called on Nitura, successfully challenged by coach Jorge Souza de Brito to stay alive. In the end, Salehi's game-winning block on Canino sealed the dramatic comeback for Iran, now sharing the Pool B lead with Kazakhstan at 3-0. Canino once again led the charge with 21 points off 17 kills, 2 blocks, and 2 aces. Ea Laure added 16 points. Alyssa Solomon sat out after spraining her ankle against Indonesia. Alas fought hard in every set, pushing Iran to the brink, but key moments slipped away late. As team captain, Gia de Guzman consoled young gun Shaina Nitura, who was emotional after their grueling 5-set loss against Iran. With a 2-1 record, Alas Pilipinas now faces a must-win scenario in its final Pool B games against New Zealand on Wednesday and powerhouse Kazakhstan on Thursday to secure a semi-final berth. The countdown to the World Championships is on, and Filipino gymnastics golden boy Carlos Yulo, along with Team Philippines' brightest stars, are headed to Japan to crank up the heat and sharpen their game to perfection. Fresh from a show-stopping performance at the Asian Championships in Jecheon, South Korea, Carlos Yulo is fired up and ready to take it to the next level. The Paris Olympics double gold winner dominated with 1 gold and 3 bronze medals, a feat that Gymnastics Association President Cynthia Carrion calls nothing short of phenomenal, especially with his busy Manila schedule. Let's not forget John Ivan Cruz, who turned heads with a vault score of 14.633, just a hair away from gold, proving he's a force to be reckoned with. Even Carlos himself was inspired by Ivan's performance. Now, the stage is set in Japan, where Yulo, Cruz, Miguel Bisana, and Ace De Leon will push their limits in a high-octane training camp. Yulo's younger brother, Carl Eldrew, is also making a high-stakes return to train under his former mentor, Munehiro Kugiyama, ready to see if he can rise to the challenge and make his own mark. For 1 minute and 5 seconds, it was all Islay Bomogao. The Filipina Muay Thai warrior made a statement, blasting Spain's Nerea Rubio with a sharp body shot and a thunderous head kick for a devastating first-round knockout at One Friday Fights 111 in Bangkok. Bomogao extended her undefeated one championship record to 3-0, building on wins over Fu and Ran Longshu. The fight opened with heavy trading, but Bomogao's laser body shot turned the tide, followed by a perfect head kick that sent Rubio crashing. The Lumpini crowd erupted as Bomogao celebrated another dominant win. At just 5 feet tall, Bomogao proves height doesn't define might in martial arts, and her rising star is one to watch. And already, a new challenger may be on the horizon. Japanese shoot boxer Misaki, who dominated Ran Longshu in her own promotional debut on the same card, has voiced interest in facing Bomogao. In the post-fight presser, Bomogao welcomed the possibility but made it clear she prefers to fight under Muay Thai rules. Islay's journey is just beginning, and behind the fists and feet of this proud Igorot warrior from Cordillera, and a fighter who in training balanced sharp combos and timing drills with silly faces and a smile, she remains fierce in the ring, but very cute, playful, and pretty outside it. The spotlight belongs to the women of Philippine volleyball as 57 rising stars step up for their pro debut in the dazzling 2025 PVL Rookie Draft. The Novotel Manila Hotel turned into a runway of talent and power as all 12 teams prepared to redefine their future. Bella Belen, the 3-time UAP MVP and champion, was shining bright as the first overall pick for the Capital One Solar Spikers. Next, Gallery's Tower High-Risers made their move, while Farm Fresh held the hottest storyline of the night. Would they dare select Alohi Robbins Hardy? The Phil-Am setter who declared she'd only play for the Foxies, the drama was real. Next led Chameleons, once holding the draft odds for the top pick, hunted for a game changer at fourth, as the rest of the draft unfolded with surprises, celebrations, and game faces all around. Now, Queens of the Court, who went where? Here's the list. Every team passed on the fifth round, just like last year. One pass and your chance is gone. As the draft ends, it is now a dance of strategy and destiny for these ladies and their team, all ready to take flight. For one night, only politics took a backseat as President Donald Trump made a thunderous entrance at the Prudential Center, igniting a roaring crowd with a standing ovation just before UFC 316 began, and putting his heated feud with tech giant Elon Musk on pause to focus on UFC's highest-stakes showdown inside the cage. Joining UFC President Dana White, Trump strutted to his cage-side seat, repeating a high-profile appearance from last November at Madison Square Garden, this time without Musk. Surrounded by family including Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner, along with Eric Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Trump shook hands with fans. UFC legends, actually boxing legend, Mike Tyson, and the broadcast team, including Joe Rogan, whose podcast hosted Trump during his campaign last year. The crowd went wild, phones held high to snap the moment. Trump remains a die-hard UFC fan and regular at fight nights. Now on the card, two championship fights headlined the night with Juliana Peña and Mira Babashvili defending their 135-pound titles. Now, earlier in the night, UFC fighter Kevin Holland submitted Vicente Luque, then scaled the cage to lock hands with Trump and White before his post-fight interview. The Trump-White alliance, strong for over 2 decades, has delivered big returns from UFC events at Trump-owned venues to White backing Trump politically. Trump showed he's at home in the cage as he is in the spotlight. Now, tennis fans are still buzzing, but not just about Coco Gauff's historic French Open win. It's about Aryna Sabalenka's controversial comments that have sparked fury, casting a shadow over one of the year's most thrilling finals. Coco Gauff, just 21 years old, cemented her place in tennis history, storming back from a set down to defeat world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka, claiming her first French Open title and second Grand Slam crown. Gauff's 6-7, 6-2, 6-4 win makes her the first American woman to win Roland Garros since Serena Williams in 2015 and the youngest since 2002. But as the tennis world celebrated Gauff's comeback, controversy erupted after Sabalenka's post-match press conference. On court, the Belarusian had credited Gauff, saying, "To Coco, you deserve it. You're a hard worker, a fighter."
I think I was over-emotional, and I think today I didn't really handle myself quite well, mentally, I would say. So basically, that's it. I was just making unforced errors. Like, I don't know, I have to check the statistics. I think she won the match not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes from, like, if you look from the outside, kind of like from an easy balls.
But later, her tone shifted, sparking backlash. Sabalenka called it the worst tennis I've played in months, claiming she won not because she played incredible, but because I made mistakes. And then, the most explosive statement, "If Iga Swiatek had beaten me the other day, I think she'd get the win," a comment many called classless and disrespectful. Gauff, informed of the remarks, stood her ground.
mean, I don't agree with that. I'm here sitting here, and last time I played, no, like to ego or anything, but I played her and I won in straight sets. So, yeah, I don't think that's a fair thing to say because anything can really happen. And yeah, honestly, I mean, the way Aryna was playing the last few weeks, she was the favorite to win. So I think she was the best person that I could have played in the final. Her being #1 in the world, she was the best person to play. So I think I got the hardest matchup just if you go off stats alone. Obviously, Iga being a champion here, it was going to be a tough match either way. But yeah, I think regardless of who I played, I think I had a good shot to win, and I definitely had that belief.
In the end, the record books will show Goff as the champion. Sabalenka's comments just a footnote to an instant classic final. The clay has settled, but the debate is just beginning. Coco Gauff has her trophy, her legacy grows, and the tennis world will be watching when these stars clash again. Moving on to Major League Baseball, what a show on the mound. George Kirby had a career-high 14 strikeouts over 7 dominant innings. 2 hit ball, no walks, leading the Seattle Mariners to a much-needed 3-2 win over the Los Angeles Angels. Snapping a 5-game losing streak, Kirby's 14 Ks, most by a Mariner since James Paxton's 16 back in 2018. Ties Max Meyer for most in MLB this season as well. Donovan Solano drove in the go-ahead run in the 5th. Randy Arozarena had 3 hits, including an early RBI double, as the Mariners avoided a sweep, winning just their 4th in the last 14. Taylor Ward kept it close with a 2-run shot for the Halos, but they struck out 18 times overall. Andres Munoz, back from a week off, shut it down with his 18th save, striking out Mike Trout to end it. Tyler Anderson took the loss, 9 straight outings without a win. With George Kirby leading the charge and clutch hitting and closing in place, the Mariners head into their next series with renewed confidence and momentum back on their side. In the NBA, what a response. The Oklahoma City Thunder came out swinging in Game 2, leaving the Indiana Pacers biting the dust. And as a result, we've got ourselves a tied NBA Finals. There was no comeback this time, no late-game heroics, just a statement win by the young and hungry Thunder. OKC erased the pain of Game 1, rolling to a 123-107 win, tying the series at 1-1. League MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the charge. 34 points, 8 assists, 5 boards, passing 3,000 combined season points and setting a finals rookie record with 72 points through 2 games. Chet Holmgren bounced back strong, 15 points, 6 rebounds, while Jalen Williams added 19 points. And off the bench, Alex Caruso and Aaron Wiggins combined for 38 big ones. The Thunder out-rebounded the Pacers 48-38 and held them to just 42% from the field. The NBA's best defense made sure there was no Indiana miracle tonight, forcing 15 turnovers and shutting down the Pacers' stars early. Tyrese Halliburton finished with 17 points. Pascal Siakam just 15 points on 3 of 11 shooting, and the Pacers never got closer than double digits. Now it's on to Indianapolis for Game 3. The pressure is back on the side of the Pacers because this OKC team has found its groove and they are coming for more. And now here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What is the gymnastics flip where the body stays completely straight and tight, showing pure power and control on the floor exercise? The answer is the layout. In gymnastics, a layout is a skill where the gymnast performs a flip in the air with their body fully extended. No bending at the hips or knees. This position showcases strength, body control, and elegance, unlike tuck or pike flips. The layout demands more power and precision because the gymnast rotates with a straight, stretched form. One of the world's top gymnasts, Carlos Yulo, has amazed audiences with his clean and powerful layouts during his floor routines, helping him win medals on the international stage. His execution of layouts reflects years of training and incredible athleticism. So next time you watch floor exercise, keep an eye out for that perfect straight body flip. It's the spectacular layout making gymnastics look effortless. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Luka, yes! Nagbawas na ng timbang. He drops weight and Laker fans go wild. No more excuses. Luka the Don just sent shockwaves through Lakers Nation with his off-season body transformation. Now, the man who was once labeled fat and lazy is now looking leaner, meaner, and hungrier than ever. Caught on camera by Luka Updates, Luka shredded. New physique signals a potential rebirth for the star who struggled on defense last season. Now a quicker, fitter Luka means trouble for opponents and hope for the Lakers as they eye a deep playoff run next season. Laker fans are freaking out. One wrote, "Oh, he locked in," while some said, "That looks like 2021 Luka. Man, I am shaking." And yet, merong isang nagsabi, "No joke, he might be near rookie year size." Meron pang isang fan sa X, humirit. "Can't wait to see Luka dunks like in his rookie season." But let's keep it real, guys. This isn't the first time Luka's off-season shape has gotten Laker fans hyped. So let's temper those expectations first. One thing's clear though, Luka's got a massive chip on his shoulder, and the Lakers' early exit last season lit the fire, and now it's payback time. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 9th of June. Up next, joining us in the studio, 5-time UAAP champion of the Ateneo Blue Eagles, Tonino Gonzaga, to break down Game 2 of the NBA Finals. So keep it right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. It's the NBA Finals, and after Game 2, the score, the series is now even. Now this battle is truly heating up and a war is on the horizon. And here to help us break down Game 2 is none other than 5-time UAAP champion from the Ateneo Blue Eagles, Tonino Gonzaga. Tonino, thank you so much for coming here. Maraming salamat. So, your reaction, I guess my first question to you, reaction mo, takeaways from game number 2?
Well, I think OKC is the more talented team. They're both deep teams. They both play defense very well. They're well coached. They have good instincts on the court, and they know how to play with each other. But I think when it comes down to it, OKC is the deeper team, and they have more firepower and more star power.
Do you think that chamba lang yung comeback ng Indiana sa game number 1?
Well, I don't think so. I think it takes character to come back from a lot of playoff games, these playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think they're used to rallying back. So, hindi naman chamba.
Okay. Tonino, I remember before when you were a little bit younger, yung idol mo was Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Diba? Kaya number 7 ka sa Ateneo. Was that the reason? More or less?
More or less.
Okay.
More or less.
So, nung nag-OKC si Carmelo Anthony, were you an OKC fan?
I don't think so anymore. But I was a fan when he was in Denver.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Denver Melo.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's an evolved OKC. Alam mo, napansin ko dito sa OKC, yung depensa nila, I think this can inspire and even become a blueprint for basketball programs all over the world. Na pag ganito ang depensa natin, suffocating defense, it will lead to fast breaks. What do you think about the defense of OKC?
I think they have the right pieces, first of all. They fit together very well in terms of the defensive end and offensive end. So when it comes to the defensive end, they have Lou Dort, who can stop players.
Yeah.
Caruso, who's good in the help side defense.
Yeah.
As well as Chet Holmgren, who's your rim protector.
Yep.
And everyone else are tough defenders as well. So
Yeah.
they're really built to play defense.
And SGA as the star, grabe, unbelievable yung kanyang ginagawa dito. And there were some tweets that I was reviewing and unbelievable, as in, na-break niya yung record ni Allen Iverson. As in, first two games of SGA in the finals, na-surpass niya yung record ni AI. Are you surprised na ganito yung ginagawa ni Shea?
Well, I think it's a different era, and Allen Iverson doing it back in that era was honestly way more impressive because now the pace is faster. They find their teammates at a faster pace. They shoot at a higher clip. So I think it's a different era. It's relatively incomparable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also, it's not just yung first 2 games in the finals. I saw another tweet. In the past 9 games, 30-plus points na pala ang ginagawa ni Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And to me, nabilib ako dito because he's showing that he truly deserves the MVP.
Well, I think Shai knows his spots, knows where to get on the floor. He gets to the paint a lot. When he gets to the paint, he has that mid-range that is extinct in this game, in this NBA.
Extinct.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's hard to stop. It's hard to stop.
All right, Tonino, let's go over here to the LED. Let's break down some plays that happened in game number 2. Now, over the weekend, I did a report on Agenda. Eto, let's check out this play. Pause it right here, please. Okay, so Shai Gilgeous-Alexander calling for a screen. Let's stop it right there. Okay. Why do you think itong si Shai Gilgeous-Alexander laging nakakapasok sa paint? And in this situation, there was a switch. Si Haliburton ang bumantay dito kay Shai. Do you think he was coming for that mismatch na si Hali ang bumantay sa kanya?
I think they've been attacking Hali from the start of game 1.
Yeah.
So Wallace did a running screen towards Shai, and he was able to get downhill. So the problem with that was Hali was sitting way back from the screen.
Yeah.
Allowing Shai to get momentum downhill.
All right, let's check out the next play here. Sinabi nga ni Tonino, obsolete na yung mid-range game. You have Shai bringing down the ball. So you have Hartenstein there. Screen comes, and then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander finds Chet Holmgren at the dunker spot. Are you surprised na si Chet Holmgren, after 6 points in game number 1, I focus on this in my agenda report, 15 points ang kanyang ginawa sa game 2?
Well, I think a lot of it was more incidental. I don't think they're really looking at him to score. He just needs to be in his spots and do well where he can, like popping in the 3-point line and staying in the dunker spot, like in this play, rolling. So I think as well as OKC creates for each other, he can go for 20, he can go for 10. And they can still play well regardless.
Tonino, during your time with Ateneo, you were one of the best wing defenders in the UAAP. Para sa'yo, sino yung mga naaalala mo na nahirapan kang bantayan? Which player in the UAAP during your time were you challenged by the most?
I think Paul Lee.
Paul
definitely.
Lee, correct. Sino pa?
R.R. Garcia at the time.
R.R. Garcia.
Terrence was still young when I was playing, so R.R., Paul Lee, Nuiles.
Grabe, that was a time. Grabe, ang dami mga talented
I don't know
scorers.
if your viewers still know who these players are.
Just search those names that Tonino Gonzaga mentioned. All right, let me get the ball right here. Sabihin natin, since you have great defensive instincts, if you were Indiana, sino ang ipapabantay mo kay Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
If I was Indiana, I think Nembhard, who is already the guy who's covering him.
Okay. And like
I don't know who can cover Shai, but
okay. I will ask you, how would you defend Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Because come here, Tonino. Because like ang paborito ni Shai Gilgeous, he dribbles the ball and then he goes here and then magsa-stop siya. But sometimes he doesn't kill his dribble. So he can spin, he can kick out. Ikaw, how would you defend Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
I think I would just try to crowd him.
Crowd him
as much as possible, make him be the passer because his game is really putting up 30 points every night, and that's where they're successful. So make him have 10, 12 assists, like how they used to do opposite to Steve Nash, where they made him a scorer. So take him out of his comfort zone, right?
Okay, and then ikaw naman as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like can you explain how he gets to the paint and is like a free throw merchant? Yun yung tinatawag sa kanya eh.
Yeah.
Diba? So like, I'm guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. How does he draw all of these fouls?
Well, I think he's, maybe the term to use is slippery.
Slippery, okay.
So, when he
So
gets by the
he's
defender,
okay.
he doesn't use his power, he just uses the space. He takes the space, so he's able to get in, and he has this move, which
separation.
separation, which they're trying to guard, so they can't really know whether he's going forward or going back, and he has a lot in his bag from this move.
Okay.
Once he touches the paint.
During your time in the UAP, sino ba yung magaling mag-draw ng foul?
Draw ng foul,
Yung suki ng referee.
Si Chris Chu.
Chris Chu.
Chris Chu.
Okay. Shout out to Chris Chu. All right, prediction, Tonino. Before we go, prediction for game number 3, what do you think is gonna happen?
You know what? I think OKC is gonna win, but
Wow.
because I like the Pacers, and my friend Joppy is a Pacers fan since Reggie. So
Okay.
I'm going with the Pacers for game 3.
Wow, Pacers for game number 3. At least may kasama ako. Pacers din ako. I became a huge Halliburton fan, although I agree, mas deep yung OKC. Tonino, thank you so much for the time,
Thank
man.
you.
Always a pleasure. Tonino Gonzaga, 5-time UAP champion from the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Brother, thank you so much.
Thank you.
2 rising stars, 1 massive stage. Tyrese Halliburton just hit the shot. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and his moment, but came back for redemption. So who's leading the race for NBA Finals MVP? We're stacking the ladder and breaking it all down so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. Okay, so this is it. The biggest stage, the final chapter of the NBA season. The legacy makers, the moment breakers, and a new champion rising. This is the 2025 NBA Finals, where every possession writes history. So here's the thing. 2 games wasn't just a barn burner. It was a tone setter, a statement game. And this is the type of finals that instantly carves names into the history books, or carves them out. You had one guy hit the shot and another miss what should have been his shot, and just like that, poof, the MVP race in the finals turned into a knife fight in an alley. Because yeah, the MVP isn't always about who scores the most, it's about who owns the moment. And in game number 1, it was Tyrese Halliburton who owned it. Now look, 14 points. Hindi ito yung Finals MVP box score classic, pero let's be honest, nobody's talking about his stat line. They're talking about the stones. Halliburton went 0 to legend in 5 seconds. That shot in game 1 wasn't clutch. It was Carlisle-era Dirk Nowitzki 2011 energy. You know the type, the I don't care what the numbers say, I got this type. Halliburton's got that calm, chaotic magic, the basketball savant vibe. He's not your dad's Finals MVP, but he's becoming this year's Finals soul. Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he was filthy, like filthy in that Allen Iverson 2001 way, just carving up defenders and making the net beg for mercy. 3rd most points ever in a Finals debut, behind Iverson and Micon. That's not just a stat, that's a you should have won badge. But here's the deal, he didn't. And in the MVP for the finals race, heartbreak counts. That miss in the final seconds in game 1, huge, but a huge comeback as well in game 2. That's the kind of thing voters don't forget unless he roars back again in game 3 like LeBron did in 2016. Siakam, Mr. Pascal Siakam, he's the guy doing the dirty work. He's crashing the glass, making the smart cuts, eating up OKC's length advantage like it's nothing. If Halliburton's the heart, Siakam is the engine. He's your no sexy stat line but still everywhere candidate. And hey, ask Kawhi if that can you win Finals MVP? Then there's Lou Dort, of course, the ultimate chaos wild card. He hits threes, he strips you blind, he defends like he drank 5 Red Bulls and listened to BMX for 30 minutes. Now, let's not pretend he's leading this race yet. But if OKC gets hot and he keeps this up, this could be another Iguodala-type shocker. I don't believe it, though. And man, Andrew Nembhard, he's cooking something sneaky here. A few more big defensive moments, a couple more dagger threes. Let's not forget, this is how those legacy runs start. Quiet and then loud. So, Tyrese Haliburton, the shot heard around India and around the world. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the conference MVP. Pascal Siakam, the glue guy MVP pick. Lou Dort, the disruptor. Andrew Nembhard. The Iguodala watch begins. And yeah, Haliburton now leads the race. But the finals MVP isn't over yet. It's about owning the series. SGA, he's one nuclear quarter and consistent 30-plus point performances away from flipping this entire script. Siakam keeps rebounding like Dennis Rodman in 1996. Don't be shocked if he wins. Now, Dort and Nembhard, well, stranger things have happened. Remember Chauncey Billups. Not so strange. He deserved it naman. So, buckle in, folks. The MVP ladder is shaky, and that's what makes it fun. We'll be watching, you'll be watching, and somebody is about to put their name next to Curry, Duncan, and Jordan. But only one gets the crown. And that wraps up our look ahead for Finals MVP. This is just getting started, but for one team, the clock is already ticking. Tune in, lock in, and stay ready so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. This was from a steady backup and certified closer and has transformed into the heartbeat of the New York Knicks. JB, Jalen Brunson, said recently, "Clutch moments define who you are. I embrace them." Parang Tyrese Haliburton imbibed that quote from his rival, Jalen Brunson. All right. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.